up on Backyard Science, using fake flowers to beat butterflies at their own game.
The mysterious colours of the rainbow all around us, but how do they get there?
And look, no hands. How to get an ice cube out of a glass without touching it. Touchdown time for a flying egg. Can there be a soft landing?
Frighten your friends with a monster in a paper bag. Maybe hearing is believing.
And amazing patterns from an ancient paper puzzle. Make your own in a flash. But first...
Look, Jason. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a...
Can't be. Surely not a flying egg.
Now that's a backyard science mystery we're going to have to crack.
Ty and I are going to try and get some eggs down to Blake without breaking any. Let's try free fall. Oops, this is a stickier problem than we thought. We've got to find a way to soften the landing. Okay, we'll give this a go. Oh dear, not even close. Maybe it's our end that's the problem. We'd better think of something clever before we run out of eggs. One last try then. Here, catch this! Perhaps not. We're going to show you how to make cool pictures like these with an ancient Chinese puzzle called a tangram. You'll need a square piece of paper, some scissors, a felt tip pen and a ruler. Start by drawing a dividing line from top left to bottom right. Fold the top corner over to that line and make a crease. Draw along this crease parallel to your first line. Next, draw a line down the middle between the two parallels. Fold the tip of your card into the corner you've just created. Flatten out the line and draw down it. Now make a fold along the widest diagonal. Draw a line down the crease to the centre. Fold the long side into the centre point you've created. Draw along the crease so you create a triangle. Now you've got all the elements of a tangram. Okay, start cutting.
A tangram has 7 pieces, 5 different sized triangles, 1 square and 1 parallelogram. But with these 7 shapes, you can make thousands of other shapes, like a bird, or a boat, or even a rabbit. Pretty cool, huh?
That's odd. A rabbit? I'm sure I left a bird here on the table. Now that's a puzzle. I'm going to give Angelique the surprise of her life. I'm making out there's a monster insect trapped in this bag. I'll only fool her if she has a listen. Good. Hearing is believing. She thinks that's his huge feast. She's imagining colossal antennae and mighty munching sounds.
Here's something worth knowing about sound. It travels much better through a solid like paper than it does through air. Even the tiniest scratches are much louder than we normally hear.
So that can trick your brain into thinking the smallest bug is the biggest monster. Oh, it's so scary.
Just goes to show that things aren't always as scary as they seem to be.
I don't know, Dana. If I was facing the fate of one of Ty and Margot's flying eggs, I'd be petrified.
Our attempt to get eggs down to Blake without breaking any is failing miserably. We've tried everything. I think we need a parachute. Get some garbage bags, tape, scissors, string, and some plastic cups. Ty will make a small parachute. I'll make a big one. Just cut out a square. Then you'll need 4 pieces of string, all the same length. They'll be the suspension lines. Stick one of these to each corner of the plastic square. Then attach them to your cup. Put the precious cargo in the cup. Which will float best? The big one or the small one? Right, we're ready to test. 1, 2, 3, bombs away! The small parachute's much faster than the larger one. Small one? Crash landed. Oh, so did the large one. Back to the drawing board.
A parachute slows an object's fall. It fills up with air and creates a lot of wind resistance or drag. You need enough drag to overcome most of gravity's pull and slow the descent.
What can we do to make our parachute even slower? Maybe the suspension lines are the problem.
Most skydivers jump from planes at about 4 kilometers above the ground. They fall freely for about a minute. Then they pull the ripcord to release their parachutes. That slows them from a speed of almost 200 to less than 20 kilometers an hour in about 3 seconds. Now that's some air brake.
I'm going to find out the best way to get butter stains off clothes. And Blake's my test dummy. A pretty reluctant one too. Come on. Good, got the shirt. Now to test what gets these stains out. Okay, I've got lemon, I've got onion, and I've got milk. First the lemon. Just rub it in. Not really working. Now the onion. Rub that in too. Not much better. And now for the milk. Just a slurp. Ah, yes. He's got no idea what's going on. To get the stain out, you need to dissolve it. And the rule goes, like dissolves like. The butter stain is basically fat. There's no fat in lemons, no fat in onions either. But milk, it has loads of fat. It dissolved the butter best of all. There you go, problem solved. Now he knows how to get butter stains out.
I've set Ben a challenge. He's got to fold a square of paper into a shape that'll make a bang when you flick it. No, that's not right. Making shapes out of paper is called origami. It looks more like agony the way Ben's doing it, but he's pretty determined. Keep folding, Ben. Nope, that's not it either. Looks like he's run out of ideas. Time for the expert to step in. He's not going to find any answers in a book. I'll show him how to do it. Take a piece of stiff paper, say 30 by 40 centimeters. Watch carefully. Fold the long edges of the paper together, then open it again. Now fold all of the corners to meet at the crease. Fold the paper in half along the first fold, then fold it in half lengthways. Looking good, Ben. Fold down the 2 sharp corners. Now fold the paper back along the second fold to make a triangle shape. Like this. Now for the fun part. Hold it by the 2 sharp corners. But how does it work? Like this.
When the paper banger is flicked, a flap of paper springs out. This produces a sudden and large movement of air, forming a sound wave. Lightning is another big banging sound that's caused by movement of air. We hear it as thunder. A lightning flash heats the air so that it expands suddenly, sending a powerful sound wave through the air. Love that origami paper banger. That's what I call ingenious.
I think Margot and Ty had better come up with something ingenious before they run out of eggs.
I think the answer to making our parachute go slower might be in the suspension lines. I'm going to make them twice as long. In goes our test pilot. Whoa! Yes, that's good. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh! There's a crosswind! It's landed in enemy territory! Careful, Blake! At least it landed safely, so the longer strings did slow it down. At last we're on the right track, but how can we improve the steering? Now what do real parachutes do? I've got it! Vents!
Vents in parachutes help skydivers steer by letting air escape out one side of the canopy. They increase the rate of descent a bit, but they provide stability in windy conditions.
We'll need to make 2 hand-sized cuts in the parachute. Right, here it is, our last hope. Let's see if the vents do the trick. 1, 2, and 3! And off she goes! A perfect landing! Yes! We did it! Wow, look at that butterfly! I've got to show this to Sodom. Hey, where did it go? There must be a way to make him come back. I know butterflies go searching for pollen and nectar to eat. They find it in flowers. I've got an idea about how to get him back. Sophie and I have set ourselves a challenge. We have to get our ice cubes out of our glasses without touching the ice with our fingers. First, the chopstick lift. Nope. Now the sticky tape trick. Hopeless. What about the toothpick extraction? Nah. Now we're stumped. What's left that hasn't been tried? Well, we've got some salt. And there's this thread. This is going to need some thought. We're onto something here. Drape on the thread. Then sprinkle the salt on the ice cube. Wait a minute. Then lift.
When salt is sprinkled on, it melts the ice for just a second. But within a minute or two, the cube refreezes, trapping the string firmly enough so it can hold the weight of the ice block.
We've got rid of our ice cube, but now our water's too salty to drink. Lucas thinks he's really good at hide and seek. But he'll never find me this time. Uh-oh, tickle in my nose. Here it comes again. frustrating. I've got to find out what makes me sneeze.
I love this music. It's so cool. A rainbow. How did that happen? Let's see how many colours there are. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. I don't get it. Sunlight's white. But all these different colours are on the paper. That means the colours come off the CD. Or are there different colours in light? Which is it?
White light is made up of lots of colours that we see when it separates. Sometimes when it rains, white light is split up by water droplets to form a rainbow. The same thing happens with bubbles. As white light travels through the watery wall of the bubble, the colours separate. And these colours are visible because tiny ridges on the metal coating of the CD have made white light split up too.
It's a whole world of colour.
Those rainbow colours are so beautiful. Pity the bubbles just drift away and disappear.
Well, maybe if they're a bit more like butterflies, there'd be a way to persuade them to come back.
Butterflies and other insects are attracted to flowers. That's where they get their food. So maybe if we make our own flowers, we'll be able to attract that one back. Down to work. Do a white flower first. Draw some petal shapes. And cut them out. Let's make a red flower too. Good idea. The middle should look as much like pollen as possible. Finished! No butterfly in the world could resist these beautiful flowers. Now we wait.
Flowers have different colours depending on the type of insect they want to attract to spread their pollen. Butterflies are often attracted to red flowers.
The flowers aren't attracting anything. Not even the red one. I think we're doing something wrong. Looks like Sodom's got an idea. According to the book, allergies and sneezing occur when your body overreacts to things floating in the air. What things are floating in the air? I can't see anything, but maybe there's a way I can. I'll need card, hole punch, sticky petroleum jelly, and some string. First I'll punch holes in the card, some string to hold the cards up. Now, I'll spread the gooey jelly over the cards. Okay, I'll hang them in the garden. Now I might find out what makes me sneeze all the time.
Look at those fantastic swirling patterns. They look fantastic. But water's a clear liquid. Patterns are hard to see. I'm going to try and make the swirling patterns in the liquid more visible. I know. Food colouring. I'll fill up a bucket with water. Add a few drops of food colouring. Pour it all in and watch how it swirls away. Well, it looks sensational, but the water's still too thin to see all the swirling patterns. I wonder if there's a way I can keep the patterns still and see them really close up. I need to slow the swirling down. Yes, liquid soap. Maybe it's too thick. Better add some water. Not too much or all the soap will turn to foam. Put the lid back on. Time for the great experiment. Cool! I can finally see lots more patterns in the liquid. I knew it.
The liquid soap contains a chemical that gives the soap a nice pearly shiny look. It holds together even though the water is swirling around. That shows up all those patterns you'd never normally see in crystal clear water.
Who'd have thought a bottle of liquid soap could be a pattern-making machine?
Who'd have thought all those invisible patterns were floating around all that time right under our noses?
You've just got to find a way of seeing them, I guess. Which reminds me, I wonder if Priscilla's been able to find out what's been floating in the air and making her sneeze.
Time to see if my cards have collected anything floating in the air. I'm sure there's lots of junk, but I'm not sure what it is. Better have a close-up look. Dust! Pollen from plants. Pollen from some tree. Oh, yuck! I think that's dandruff! Oh. There must be hundreds of bits of pollen and junk in the air. No wonder I sneezed. But now I know of a foolproof way to beat that junk in the air. My face mask has beaten the allergens and Lucas.
Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. So Mum and Dad tell us. But do you know what you're eating every morning? I bet James wonders what I'm up to. Yeah? Thought he'd think I was nuts. Okay, not like this. But you probably eat some metal yourself every morning. Honest. Watch this. Take a regular cereal, put it into a bowl and cover it with water. Mush it up with a spoon for a while. Then when you've reduced it to a pulp, grab a magnet. Stir around the bottom. Now look closely at the end of the magnet. That's iron! It really is. Can't see it? I'll make it easier for you. I'll rub it on this paper. Still can't see it. Hang on, I'll get a magnifying glass. That's iron, it really is. Our bodies need it to make blood.
That's why if you look at the ingredients on some cereal packets, they'll have tiny pieces of iron or iron stuff added to the mix. Cleverer still, drinking orange juice at the same time helps your body absorb it better.
Hey, I never knew that when I'm eating cereal, I'm actually pumping iron.
Hey, slow down, big guy. Take some time to smell the roses. And I wonder what's happening with Joseph and Sonam's fake flowers.
Sonam thinks she knows where we're going wrong. Real flowers smell. They have a scent to attract the insects. Honey dissolved in water with a touch of perfume. The perfume to attract them and the honey to feed them, just like real nectar. Now we wait for a while. Look, a butterfly! And another one! It looks like she's eating our nectar. Our fake flowers have attracted the butterflies.
Wow, what a great way to get a close-up look at beautiful butterflies. Too bad they didn't hang around.
Well, when you've got to flit, you've got to flit. And we've reached the end of another Backyard Science, so we're going to flit too. See you next time.